welcome to the Fantasy News Show from the Bottled Imp. My name is Ken Boyter and this is your weekly fix of fantasy goodness. On this week's show, you're a king, Arthur. Stalker Con shambles into Charlotte, and we've done 100 Friday fantasy shows. Oh yes. But first we do start with some really sad news. Legendary fantasy author Joe Dever has died aged 60. Creator and author of the massively popular and successful and much loved Lone Wolf series of books that were also kind of like choose your own adventure books. He was admitted to hospital last week but sadly died of complications from corrective surgery that he had back in August. And the first book of Lone Wolf series was published way back in 1984. So he's been writing these for years and years and years, and they've sold over 11.5 million copies worldwide. I mean, that's a huge amount of books. As well as the book series, the Lone Wolf is also an RPG, and there have been several video games that have also been made, you know, within the universe of Lone Wolf over the years. So far, there have been 29 books that have been published, and with the in the series, and the final 3 were planned. He'd already planned out what the final 3 books were going to be. Following his death, his son Ben announced that the family would work towards publishing those final 3 books, so that's something at least to look forward to there. And both Julian and I had the pleasure of meeting Joe at the UK Games Expo in July, or June, I think it was June, yeah, and it was a real pleasure because I don't know why these books missed me when I was growing up. I didn't really hear about them, I didn't know about them, even though they were hugely popular. And it was only because a viewer, a fellow imp, had suggested that I read them and review them that I had actually heard of Joe. And I then bought the RPG games. I thought, oh, actually, I do want to get into role-playing games. And this looked quite a cool universe and quite a good setup. And so I will be hopefully diving into that and reviewing it next year. But we had the pleasure of interviewing him, and he was a gentleman. He was very, kind. You could tell he was a nice, kind person. And yeah, he had all his books in front of him, and he was just very grateful, very humbling experience. He just seemed a really nice guy. So obviously, yeah, condolences go out to his family and friends. Next story. The new big-budget King Arthur film has a new trailer released. Well, when I say new, it actually came out in July. But somehow, I didn't know about this film. I don't know why, how, it just slipped through the radar until my son told me about it. So I quickly looked it up, and yes, there is a trailer out there, and it does look really good. It's Guy Ritchie, the film's directed by Guy Ritchie, and it has that sort of, he did Sherlock Holmes, he has that sort of modern take on it, where it kind of slow moving and all of that, sort of modern directorial decisions that they've made. I don't know how to describe it. So it'd be interesting to see how that fits in like a medieval King Arthurian world, and how that sits with kind of something that's meant to be a bit more oldie worldy. From what the trailer, it does look very glossy, very action packed. There's a lot of money that's been spent on this. I hope that they've actually kept faithful to the sort of spirit of King Arthur. And yeah, okay, you can add to the mythology, you can monkey with the story, but just be true. And, if anyone's seen Game of Thrones, which I'm sure you all have, that is how to do fantasy. So if they do something like that, then I'll be very, very happy. It does star, who's it star? Oh, yes, Charlie Human, I think that's how you pronounce his name, sorry. Jude Law, Annabelle Wallis, and also it's got David Beckham in it as well. Yes, David Beckham. For those of you that don't know who David Beckham is, Americans may or may not know about David Beckham. He was a footballer in this country, massively successful footballer. I'm not sure of his acting credentials. We shall find out. I'm going to keep an open mind, but it has got David Beckham in it. Anyway, there's still a little while before the film comes out because it's scheduled to release in March 2017. And hopefully we'll get a few more trailers in the meantime. Audible Audiobooks is giving away a short story by Philip Pullman to help London commuters deal with the planned strikes. Starting today, the 7th, I think it is, or I think they start on the 6th, today's the 7th. Anyway, and it lasts until Friday the 9th. Audible members and non-members can download a 32-minute story called The Collectors for free to help them with the pain of the strikes. And it's narrated by the fantastic Bill Nighy, so that's worth a listen. Don't worry about having to sign up though. Apparently you can just download it. You don't have to sign in and give all your details. You can just download it without having to sign up for a trial membership. And the story is set in the universe of His Dark Materials, which is Philip Pullman's most famous fantasy series. And Pullman said, "I usually find short stories very difficult, but this one came easily. As a matter of fact, it came out of something Kate Bush told me about, 2 paintings she owns, one of which has the odd property of finding each other if one of them is sold or given away." So that's quite intriguing, you know, how that idea actually came to Philip Pullman from Kate Bush, you know, the very popular singer. You know, something, he was just having a conversation with her and an idea sprung into his mind. Love that. And Audible has also put together a list of 8 stories that are timed to last 15, 30, 45, 60 and 90 minutes. So everything for your commute. And these include The Surprise by Toby Davis and The Ghostwriter by Val McDermott. Sounds perfect for when the trains are back up and running, because obviously if you want to listen on your commute, or obviously if you are, you know, you've taken the day off because of the strikes, you can listen to them then, obviously. To get your free download of The Collectors, you can visit their website, which is audible.co.uk, and put The Collectors into the search bar. And we will be putting any links in the description. Stalker Con is organised for fans, and it's on the town, or it's in the town, I should say, of Charlotte, which is in North Carolina in the US of A. And as you can tell from its title, Stalker is a convention that is heavily focused on zombies and the undead. They claim our focus is on authentic interactions with actors, free family-friendly activities, and a relaxed environment where the actors we love can be themselves. Which is, yeah, sounds good. Despite the really good website, it's a cool website, you know, it's got loads of pictures on there and information. I couldn't really find out the precise details of what is actually on offer. It does seem like it's very heavily focused on the guests and the actors, which is great, because obviously if you're big fans of horror and zombie films, it's brilliant. But then I'm not sure about any other activities. I think there are other activities going on. I mean, it says it there in that little sort of strapline there. Special guests include Tom Payne from The Walking Dead, Michael Cullit from The Walking Dead, Car Payton from The Walking Dead, Christian Setesos from The Walking Dead. So you can see a theme coming here. There's also actors from Z Nation, Friday the 13th, and also Breaking Bad. Strangely enough, don't remember any zombies in Breaking Bad. Anyway, there's also guest panels and Q&A sessions. And there's obviously going to be lots and lots of stalls with horror and zombie-related merchandise. All the horror fun takes place at the Park Expo and Conference Centre in Charlotte, North Carolina on the 17th and 18th of December. To find out more, hopefully, I mean, maybe you'll do a better job than I did, and to book your tickets, you can visit their website, which is stalkercon.com. Kickstarter news. Paradox Girl is a comic telling of the adventures of a woman who is blessed with an unlimited ability to travel through time, cursed with a complete lack of common sense. Does look a lot of fun, this comic. It's a set of 6 issues. Excuse me, I knew I'd cough. Dry mouth. See a doctor about that. The first 3 were already successfully kickstarted. And this campaign is for issues 4, 5 and 6, and that apparently completes a set, like a story arc, apparently. Now the premise is that Paradox Girl has the ability to teleport through time and space with unlimited range and perfect accuracy, to change history and create paradoxes without the universe imploding or conspiring to stop her. The problem arises when she starts to mess with her own timeline, and several of herself, they all clash, and she bickers endlessly with her past and future selves and creates problems she'll have to deal with later. I really love that concept because, of course, you know, this seems like if you're time travelling, you kind of would want to go back to see what you would look like in the future, or not travel in the future, see what you look like in the future. All of that, you start monkeying with your own timeline, surely. So it does look good. It's got good artwork. It's got a good sense of humour. The video on the campaign is very well done. It's very funny. It's very well worth a watch. And issues 4, 5, and 6 are already written and illustrated, and they're raising money to get the printing and distribution. Hey, you try saying that. Go on, try saying it now. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can say it. Right, okay. So they're trying to get the printing and distribution costs for the issues. They have a lot of pledge levels and various rewards, and also they have a lot of stretch goals to unlock too. It's already funded and finishes on the 11th of December. Man vs. Meeple is a YouTube channel all about, you probably guessed it, tabletop games. Man vs. Meeple are Jeremy Salinas and David Waybright, who love talking about board games. And Jeremy started creating board game videos more than 6 years ago with a YouTube channel called Draken Strikes Component Breakdown. And I think this is just a rebranding of that, because I tried looking up that and it pointed me back to Man vs. Meeple. So I think they're rebranding the whole thing. And it's a new show that they're developing, and it's a new format. The way they can do their reviews, they've done it more like a chat show in some respects, and they've got a purpose-built studio and set. It does look really good. It looks really professional, and that they're obviously good friends because there's co-hosts, and so obviously if you're into board games, it's well worth a look. Now I know it's the competition, hey, because obviously you should be watching our show, but obviously we're all one big happy family, aren't we, on the YouTube? So yeah, they've teamed up with lots of board game publishers, and they have lots of card and accessory promotions for various different board games as rewards. It's nearly funded, it's very close. I think it has been funded. Sorry, I think that's a typo. I think it has been funded. And it finishes on the 10th of December. Leader Games are, hang on, I was going to cough again there. Leader Games are having a second print run of their asymmetric dungeon crawl game called Vast: The Crystal Caverns. And it's a game for 1 to 5 players, and it takes place about an hour and a half to play. Players can play the Daring Knight, the Chaotic Goblin Horde, the Greedy Dragon, the Cunning Thief, or even the cave itself. Each role has its own powers, pieces, and paths to victory, and there can only be one winner. I'm hooked already. With a cave constructed of tiles, so you lay tiles to create the dungeon or the cave. The deck is full of monsters, special abilities, and game-changing events, and therefore there's a load of replayability. Loving the artwork style. It's really cool. It's kind of messy. It reminds me of Castle Crushers. I don't know if you play that video game. And there's lots of good humour in there as well. They have lots of reviews and playthrough videos, so you can check that out, see if you really like it. Plus, there's lots of add-ons as well, and they have a minis add-on. So if you're into your little miniatures, that'll be the add-on for you. It is proving very, very popular, and it's funded already with over $260,000 raised. That is an enormous amount. I think they were only after $20,000, so well done them. It finishes on the 19th of December. Bottled Imp news. If you've not watched it, go watch our 100th Friday Fantasy show now. Well, not exactly now, just in about 30 seconds. Yes, we have done 100 Friday Fantasy shows. If you've not watched any of those, I'm sure you have by now, they are mainly our review shows, but we have done other little things on the Friday show. And we've done something completely different for you, and we've had lots of good feedback. We enjoyed filming it. It seems like you guys enjoy watching it. And we have a giveaway as well. And if you go to our Facebook page, and it's the pinned post at the top of the page, that's the one that you can enter the competition in. Obviously, watch the video, because then you'll find out what the giveaway is. So make sure you watch the 100 show. It's a corker. But that's all we have time for. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, obviously, and share the word of the Bottled Imp. Until next time, remember, keep it unreal. Unless you're a cheeky imp.